Hello all! Knives here, bringing you a nice summary of a knife I've done a review on. I will link the review down below. I hope you're all having a good day, and if you care to like and subscribe, I would love to continue to grow the channel, as I'm about 5.5, 6-ish months in, maybe not quite. And it's not getting a whole lot of traction, but I'm enjoying myself, so I'm going to keep going. And hopefully I can get to a point where, you know, companies will, before I run out of content, but companies will start to send me something in, because I want to provide continued reviews and see if anything I offer is of any value, right? And let me know if there's something that you're not getting to see or not getting to hear about, or that you would like to know about knives that maybe isn't being covered as readily or consistently elsewhere. Let me know. I'm willing to do whatever. I'd love to, and even if it's harsh, if it's something I'm doing wrong, or just hit it, right? Anything. Today we're looking at the Asher Knives Spiro in carbon fiber. Well, this is Alatex. They consider it carbon fiber, but I mean, I'm pretty sure it's considered silver twill carbon fiber, but it's Alatex, I think it's called. This one's a liner lock in M390. It's got a very nice soft pouch with a piece that holds the knife in position. Good. Let's just take a moment to appreciate that. Yes, we get pouches with a lot of them, but this is like thinner. It's not as big as even like Civivi pouches. It's very well and smooth finish. Nice logo with a very nice inside that treats the knife properly. Now, as I said, this is a summary, so the full review is something I've already done. So we're just going to touch on the basics here. Blade length is a little over 3 1/8, so maybe 3.2 inches, with 7 3/8 actually. Oh, 7 3/8, right? Yeah. Overall, so a little over 7 3/4. Or a quarter. 7 words. It's not a particularly big knife. I'm not going to get into more specs than that. It's quite light. I mean, yes, there are full liners. They are skeletonized, but this is carbon fiber. So it's a pretty light knife. In fact, I will make an exception here and pull this out because it is light enough that it is notable. Let's get that off there until it zeroes out. If it zeroes out. 3 point, I don't know if you can see that well. 3.29 is what we're looking at. So almost an ounce an inch. So the ratios are really good here. You got a stonewash drop point blade. Opening hole aperture is the only way to interact with this knife. The thumb flick is, there's not a lot of, since it's so softened here, you can definitely do it, but you have to be a little bit more deliberate about it, because there's not, you know, a chamfer leading down into it. And with the stonewash, everything's softened and slick. The reverse flick, however, is where this thing is. It's all day, every day. It's really good, really comfortable, really snappy, really good detent. Let's see if we can get, yeah, like, sucks it in from that position. Quite good. The blade, very thin. Very thin behind the edge. This is a slicer. Asher knives are really good performance knives. They don't necessarily have all of the frills in the design. They're pretty straightforward, but they're reasonably priced, usually giving good materials for your price and good functional just knife. They sell out quickly for that reason. They always come back, and I really wish I had managed to get a there was a blue Alatex with a Warncliffe Spiro. I wanted that, but I missed. That sold out just as fast as this did, but I managed to get this one. But they come back with different iterations, different models, different variations. There's a lot of Spiro. There's titanium, there's crossbar lock versions, there's G10 versions. I'm honestly surprised there isn't a button lock version at this point. This is kind of, it would work. they're usable knives. They're functional users. Great plunge grind, separated from the edge. And because it has my favorite, the nubbin, the stop pin does not come anywhere close to the edge, so you can always make that bigger or cut in more. And you may want to, because this thing has a ton of life on it, because it is pretty thin. Very thin blade stock. I'd say that's what? Is that 100 thou? No, it's 8. 100 thou. 90, 95 thou. Let's call it. It's a thin, slicey blade. M390. I mean, I'm sure it's not quite as high up as we want. And this thing came sharp. They got good edges on their knives. I'm sure it's probably not quite the, 62 to 63 that we'd love to see M390 at, because it's not made in the USA, and it's not a custom heat treat and all that. But this M390, because of the amazing geometry, has done just fine. Moving on to the handles, you have the Asher. The blade, except for the M390, is sterile, which is very attractive. You have the Asher logo, which, to be honest, I kind of wish the AK wasn't there. Just leave the florals. Just let it stand for itself. Or just put an A. I don't know. The AK, not my thing, but it's not bad. It's not ugly. It's attractive enough. It's got enough little flair to it. And then, of course, the main show here is these beautiful silver twill, carbon fiber, Alatex, whatever you want to call them, handles. They are contoured lightly. Black hardware. Black pocket clip. I will say that there's a little bit too much of flat on the end of this thing. It can be a little bit of a pain to get in thicker pants because of the way it's structured. It's a little long there. But it's very comfortable. I mean, it would probably be just fine if they just, knocked off this end here. But for wire clips, it's actually better than average. Like, this almost completely disappears, which is not the normal for the wire clip, even if they're always typically comfortable and they work. This one's very comfortable in the hand without being noticeable, which is kind of where they sort of often have a downfall. You really tend to feel them, even if they're, soft, round, little tiny, thin pieces of metal. That's not really bothersome. They're there. Primary grip is basically the only grip you got on this thing. It's not a huge knife. I mean, it's at the thickest point of my hand. The grip is almost 1-to-1 with my hand. So I can't really move around on that too much. I have a little bit of extra. Out to the fingers where I'm a little bit thinner, I have a little bit less. I guess if I really jam myself together, I can get way up in there, but I wouldn't want to hold anything like that anyway. And I'm really close to flopping over. But more than enough space to just be comfortable and functional. It is an inset liner lock with pretty good access, even if the bar itself is pretty small. The access is good. You do have to come a little bit from the diagonal because they didn't give you a chamfer on the show side. You can kind of come from the side, but it honestly feels like I'm going to slip off a little bit there. It's just a lot more comfortable to slightly orient it a tiny bit and come in there like that. This knife needs a little bit of oil in there. It has... Actually, I have not carried this one recently. I'll have to do that again. I always tend to forget this one. It's centered. There's no ply. The execution is really well on these Asher knives. Honestly, it's comfortable, it's centered, it works, it's well designed. Asher knives are definitely good. I will link the Asher website, but you'll really have to pay attention to their website or their Instagram, which I guess I can link to, for when they are dropping something. Because typically, a lot of the stuff they have on their website is sold out. This is just a good, functional slicer. It's not huge, but nice. Also, reversible pocket clip. Yeah, the Asher Spiro in any variant is pretty good, but I really do like this one. These scales just set it off. Side cut of these scales. Beautiful. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. that will do it for the summary here. Just a quick little overview of what this thing's got going on, and it's great. I would definitely recommend. This is, I don't remember exactly what amount this was off the top of my head, but I want to say it was like $120, which, yeah, carbon fiber or Allotex and M390, 100% all day. The value's there. Check them out. And that's all from me. Thanks for watching.